The story of hill stations in India begins not only with geography, but with terminology. Why hill stations? The term combines two key ideas: hill, denoting elevation and relief from the tropical plains, and station, a colonial administrative word for a designated settlement or post. Unlike towns or cities, a station in British parlance referred to a planned outpost, often military or administrative in nature. In India, hill stations came to refer specifically to high-altitude settlements established by the British for purposes of health, leisure, governance, and segregation. This term had no real precedent in Britain. The British Isles, temperate and maritime, lacked the climatic extremes that made such elevated escapes necessary. There were popular spa towns like Bath or Buxton, but nothing akin to the concept of a hill station. The idea was born in the colonies, primarily India, and later replicated in other parts of the empire like Sri Lanka, Kenya, and Malaysia. Hill stations were therefore an imperial invention, spaces designed to replicate the homeland's social order and comforts, while offering escape from the physical and cultural challenges of the tropical colonies. The initial motivation behind hill stations was medical. British soldiers, civil servants, and their families suffered high mortality rates due to malaria, dysentery, cholera, and heat stroke. High-altitude climates, with cooler temperatures and thinner air, were believed to be curative. Dr. Edward Gadive, a British Army surgeon in the 1830s, described the plains of India as the grave of the European, reinforcing the idea that survival itself required elevation. Ooty was one of the earliest hill stations, established in the 1820s. By the 1840s, others followed: Darjeeling, Mussoorie, Nainital, Mount Abu, and later Shimla, which was declared the summer capital of British India in 1864. These stations were not organic towns, but carefully constructed havens, complete with Anglican churches, Tudor-style cottages, boarding schools, and even fox hunts, designed to make the colonizers feel at home. Lord Lytton, Viceroy of India, once wrote,
"Shimla is a sanctuary among the clouds, where the business of empire breathes a purer air."
While originally built for health, hill stations quickly became social and racial enclaves. The British viewed the Indian environment as not just physically hostile, but culturally contaminating. Hill stations allowed them to escape both architecturally and socially. They reproduced the order of English towns. The Central Mall Road in many stations was off-limits to Indians, and clubs, churches, and schools enforced strict racial segregation. In Darjeeling and Nainital, Indian residents were restricted to lower bazaars, while the upper regions, known as the cantonment or civil lines, were exclusively European. As historian Dane Kennedy writes in The Magic Mountains,
"The hill station was intended to cleanse the British body and soul of the corruption of the plains."
While often seen as colonial creations, hill stations were sometimes supported by Indian rulers and reformers. The Maharaja of Mysore, for instance, facilitated the development of Ooty and invited missionaries to establish schools and hospitals. In Darjeeling, the East India Company received land from the monarch of Sikkim in 1835, transforming a sparsely populated Lepcha village into a flourishing hill station and tea-growing region. After independence, hill stations were democratized. No longer exclusive to colonial elites, they became beloved tourist spots for Indian families, honeymooners, and film crews. Yet the remnants of colonial architecture, old British cemeteries, and clubs with antiquated dress codes still evoke the imperial past. Writers like Ruskin Bond, who made Mussoorie his home, have captured the melancholic charm of these places. In his Rain in the Mountains, he reflects,
"The hill station is a state of mind, half dream, half memory."
The hill stations of India were not accidental. They were crafted with purpose, strategic, medical, and racial. They served as both fortress and fantasy, a home away from home for the British in a land they never fully belonged to. Their significance lies not just in their beauty or climate, but in what they reveal about the contradictions of empire, its desire for control, its fear of contamination, and its relentless need to recreate home on foreign soil. As Lord Curzon once reflected while vacationing in Shimla.
The mountains do not merely change the air, they change the man.
We hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching.